Yes, hello and very warm welcome to the very first ever live stream on Life Afloat. It's all a bit bizarre and a bit new to me, having not done this before, but hopefully it will go okay. If you are watching, say hello in the comments there so that I know who we've got. It says I've got 8 people watching at the moment, so that's quite, up to 10, that's quite interesting. Anyway, I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Much like all my other vlogs, I haven't actually planned anything really to talk about in this one. It's just sit about and a chat, let you know what's been going on, and so you can see me and Daisy. Oh, somebody said hello. Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're well. And it just gives you a chance to ask any questions that you want to ask me about me or Daisy or just the boat in general, really. So that's all good. Oh, we've got a hi from Mr. P. Hello, Mr. P. Hope you're well. So yeah, if you've got any questions, just fire them away in the comments there, and we'll do our best to answer them. All right, who have we got here? Andy and 4 others at Dover Coast Guard. Oh, nice one. Hello, Andy. Hope you and all the others are keeping well and keeping safe. Good times. And there's Boatman Benjamin. Hello, mate. You all right? So, yeah, I'll just chat away, and then in between talking, I'll just say hello to people who pop up and answer any questions that appear, really. Oh, hello, the mechanic. So, yeah, this week just gone has been a bit of a crazy week. I've been really busy. If you've been following my vlogs, you'll know that I've sort of struggled with finding work. And then a long time ago, I applied for a marina manager's job with a couple of marinas, actually, on the Oxford Canal. They're 2 different marinas, but they're owned by the same company. Well, I hadn't heard anything back. And then on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, I had a phone call, and they said, we'd like to have you in for an interview. Can you come in tomorrow? And they said, can you get here by tomorrow on the boat? And I said, well, I've got a car. And he said, oh, all right, I'll bring the car then. So I thought, well, yeah. So I drove up on Friday morning, had the interview, and it went all right. He seemed to sort of really enjoy chatting to me. And I was there for well over an hour. And he said that I'd find out how I'd done in up to a couple of weeks, because they've got another sort of 7 or so interviews to go through, and then he has to talk to his other sort of senior management colleagues, and then they make a decision. So I won't hear back for a little while, but then in the meantime as well, I had Mr. Lumsden, Lumpy from Narrowboat Natterings. He popped in as he was passing, and he said to me, well, I mentioned in conversation that I've made websites in the past and that sort of thing. And he said, well, if you know what you're doing with websites, why don't you start doing that as a business? So I started that on Monday, not this Monday just gone, but the Monday before. So before the interview at the marina. And I've got like 7 clients at the moment on the go. So, well, I've got 5 that have paid the initial fees and the deposit. So I'm working on 5 websites, and I've got another 2 who I've sort of invoiced. I'm waiting for them to pay. So that's going really well. So I'm not sure if I get offered this marina manager job, what I'm going to do now. So it requires a bit of thought. But anyway, I've waffled on enough. Let's see who's saying hello. I've got 29 people, so that's quite good. Carl, hello, mate. Oh, no, he said hello to Daisy. Well, Carl, I'm sure Daisy says hello back to you. I can't hear you. My headphones are on charge. Oh, dear. Poor planning, Carl. Poor planning, my friend. Boatman Benjamin's talking about sausages. Okay. Hello, Fisher. Hey, hello, Tanya. Lovely to have you with us. Hope you're well. Naughty Squirrel. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hello from Mark and Tina in Cornwall. Hello, Mark and Tina. Nick, Aussie Boater. Hello, mate. Good to have you, mate. Hope you're well. I can't say, but I wanted to say hello before I sign off. Oh, I can't stay, but I want to say hello. Hello. How are you? There we go. Awesome. This is going well. I've got 27 people watching. That's quite cool. I'll keep leaning forward because I can't see on the laptop what the writing is. So excuse me for leaning forward. I'm using the webcam in the laptop, which I've not used before, so I'm not sure what the quality is like, but hopefully it's all right. What's the best way to finance the purchase of a boat, as I don't own my home to sell? Well, Fisher, I guess that depends on your individual sort of circumstances, really. If you've got a way to save up and buy it outright, if you've got the patience to do that, I'm sure that's probably the best way to do it, so that you haven't got any debt to pay off after buying the boat. But there are places that do marine mortgages, Pegasus Finance. You might want to look at those if you haven't got the patience to save up for it. So have a little look at that. Winging it. Hey, hello, mate. You all right? Fantastic job on the website. Cheers, buddy. I'm glad you like it. Oh, my name is Mark too, but there's a lot of Marks in here. Ant says hello to everyone. And Darren says the picture is good. Hopefully the audio is all right as well, because I've not used this microphone before, but you can obviously hear what I'm saying, so that's good. Do you get lonely or sometimes anxious at night when mooring up, or do you normally moor near to others? From Mr. P. I don't really get lonely. I've always enjoyed my own company. I've done a fair bit of wild camping and bushcraft in the past, and I've often been in the woods overnight on my own. I like the peace and quiet and just being out and about in nature, really. So I tend to moor up in rural areas, but somewhere where there's parking nearby, so I can have the car. So obviously other boaters who are continuous cruisers with a car sort of find these spots as well. So there's normally a few other boaters about. But no, I've never felt anxious or unsafe or anything like that, really. You do hear some weird noises at the moment where I'm moored up. There's a crabapple tree just outside, and in the night you hear them falling on the boat, which is a bit bizarre, but then you realise it's the crabapples and nothing weird going on, so it's fine. What else have we got? Hello, Gary. Nice to have you, mate, all the way from California. Oh, Nick says buy a yogurt pot. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper than a narrowboat or wide beam, I guess. And you've done well on yours, mate, haven't you? So if you want to get on the water and your funds perhaps don't stretch to a narrowboat, absolutely look at a GRP cruiser. Yeah, good shout. Mark Sheed, are you in a marina or a continuous cruiser? No, I am indeed a continuous cruiser. So I have to move every 14 days. Some moorings are 48-hour moorings if it's a popular sort of canal village or town that you're in. But over winter, those moorings turn into 14-day moorings as well. So no, I'm a continuous cruiser and I like it. It's just the way I like it. Thanks for the advice, no problem. Job front is looking positive. Well, Daisy, people are saying hello to you. You could have a look. No, sorry, mate. She's not interested in saying hello. She's just chilling out. Look, there she is. She just wants to chill out. She's tired. We've been for a long walk, and she's been in the River Nene starts quite close to where I am, just a shallow part, like the stream sort of. But apparently it is the River Nene, I've been told. And she can get in there because it's only about this deep, and she just splashes about and plays with the water as it rolls down over some big boulders in there. So that's what she's been doing, and she's knackered. Hello, Patrick. Nice to have you, mate. I knew you'd be here. Cheers for your support, mate. Darren, you shouldn't have a dog in a car unattended when sun is shining due to heat. Does the same apply in a boat in the summer? Well, Darren, it can get incredibly hot in the boat. It's a metal tube, so if it's in direct sunlight, it does get very, very hot. So yeah, you know, it's not advisable to leave your dog there. If I've got the side hatch, I've only got side hatch on one side. It'd be nice to have one on both sides, but I've got side hatch on one side. If that's at the water edge and not the towpath, if I'm just nipping out for a bit and Daisy can't come for whatever reason, I'll leave the side hatch open for her, and I leave the other two little windows in here open, and then the blinds shut to keep the sunshine out, if that makes sense. And it seems to keep it fairly cool, so it doesn't get massively hot in here if the blinds are down and the side hatch is open, basically. But yeah, it can get very, very hot. Looking cozy there. Have you still got your piano? It is cozy, Tanya. Yes, the piano is over there, the other side of the sofa. I haven't figured out a way yet to rearrange things to get the sofa further over, because as you can see here, like, it's quite close to the stove. That's about, I don't know, what's that, 40 centimeters, 35, 40 centimeter gap. So it does need to move over a bit more. But yeah, that's unfortunately, I haven't figured out a way to do that just yet. Gary, did your guest VIP visitor get on well with Daisy? Yes, Gary. In fact, he is here. Patrick is watching this at the moment, and yes, he did get on well with Daisy. Daisy took a bit of a shine into him, I think. So yeah, they got on well, and Patrick seemed to have a good day as well. So it was all good. So where are we at? We've got 5 thumbs ups and 37 people watching. I didn't really expect so many people watching, because I've got, obviously the channel's small, yeah, in terms of a YouTube channel. So I didn't really expect to have many people watching me. I thought maybe I might get 5 or 6 people, but I've got 38 now. So that's it's good. What's Peter saying? My dogs are stupid in the hot weather. They refuse to sit in the shade or drink water. Yeah, Daisy's a bit the same. She gets too hot and bothered. She just doesn't really know what to do with herself. And she just sort of panics, you know. And yeah, she won't drink water. She won't sit in the shade. She'll just sit in the sunshine. And she don't really use her common sense when she's too hot. Real cool dog. She's chilling out, mate. Look, nothing on the telly. No, well, hopefully this is a bit more interesting than some of the programs that are on TV, mate. But you know, it might not be. But there we go. So yeah, as I was saying, the website thing is going really well. So I built my business website, which is simplewebsitesolutions.co.uk. And then I had an inquiry come in today, actually, from a mobile hairdresser. She wants a website, and that was an inquiry, word of mouth, from a nail salon whose website I'm doing at the moment. So I got recommended even before I finished her website. So she obviously trusts me to do a good job. But yeah, that was nice to get that recommendation. But anyway, we're moored up near Weedon at the moment. I am moving on very, very soon because my 2 weeks is going to be up. So I need to move the boat, and we're probably just going to go to the other side of Weedon because other than that, there's nowhere really good that I can stop with parking nearby until I'm at the top of the Long Buckby lock flight, which is 7 locks. And there's some parking there near the Star Inn pub, I believe it is. That's quite nice. Been in there for a bit of food a while ago, and it was all right. But it's a nice place to moor up around there. You've got the junction of the Leicester Arm just past there as well, and it's really nice countryside around there. Good pick from the laptop. Yeah, it looks all right on my screen, Patrick. So hopefully it's looking good on everyone else's screen. What's the furthest you've travelled so far? Do you tend to stick in the same area? Well, yeah, because I've got my girls that live with their mum, obviously, in just outside Buckingham. I see them every week. So I generally, at the moment, am kind of tied to a set sort of cruising area. So I've been down the furthest towards sort of London direction, if you like, on the Grand Union, is just outside of Tring. So I haven't actually got really anywhere near to London yet. But that's where I was, just outside of Tring during lockdown. And now I'm just basically up by Northampton. So I tend to try and keep close-ish to Milton Keynes if I can. Sort of Milton Keynes, Leighton Buzzard area, because that's not too far away from the girls. So I'm always like to try and be within an hour's drive of them, really, if I can. What else have we got? I am going to be busy, Tanya. Yeah, I'm already busy. I'm having to write loads of to-do lists to make sure I can remember to do everything I need to do. How do you get back to your car? So after moving the boat, me and Daisy, we just walk back to where the car is and then go and get it after we've moved the boat. I did it the other way around once, and it was last winter. I actually checked out the moorings the evening before. It was about 8 o'clock, and I went to this place because I'd not stopped there before. I just found it on the map, and I wanted to sort of check out the parking and the moorings and stuff. And I went down, took the car. There was loads of space for the boats, so I thought, brilliant. I'll leave the car here, and I'll walk back and then move the boat down first thing in the morning. And I did that, but there was no place to put. There's no space to moor up, so I thought, oh no. And it was raining. It had been snowing. It was a really cold day. My hands were completely numb. I was wet. I wasn't very happy because I then had to go all the way into Marsworth, which was through another 5 locks and the most awkward of swing bridges. And it was freezing cold, and it took me like another 3 or 4 hours. And I was very grumpy when I got to Marsworth. But I normally just walk back and get the car after I've moved the boat. So that answers that. Can I ask, what brand of coal do you use? You're moving to boat next year. Want to get as much detail as possible. Leave live broadcasts a great idea. Cheers, Mr. Pete. So the coal that I've used, everyone has their preference with coal, and if you're on the Narrowboat groups on Facebook, you'll see that there's quite often discussions about coal and what works best and what have you. I've got a Morso squirrel stove, and I find that what's it called? Supertherm works best for me. A lot of people rave about Excel, but my personal experience with Excel is it burns out very quickly and leaves a huge amount of ash. Whereas Supertherm, I can get to stay in for 20 hours, and it will still be burning after that. And there's obviously a fair bit of ash, but it's nowhere near as much as the likes of Excel, or I've tried quite a few. Stove Glow, I think it's called, or Slow Glow, something like that. I've tried that as well. And I've tried, is it called Braziers? You often find it at petrol stations and B&M and that sort of thing. That was rubbish. So I just stick to Supertherm now. And I find one bag is about 12 quid, and that lasts 6 days or so, something like that, if the stove's on all the time. Hello, Emma and Fiona. Nice to have you here. There you go, guys. That's a bit of a privilege. Narrowboat Girl is on. She's over 10,000 subscribers on her channel. Go and check her out. Nice to have you. Hope you're well. Would you ever consider a diesel stove? I've no experience of diesel stoves, so I don't really know what it's like to have one. I'd like to see what it's like in someone else's boat, so I can get an idea. But I do like having the fire. And I don't know if a diesel stove, does it have flames, or is it all enclosed? Has it got a glass door where you can see the flames? I don't know. I like the coziness of a fire. So if I saw a diesel stove and you could see there was a fire in there, then yeah, I'd consider it. But I had no idea about how it would be set up or where the diesel feed would come from or anything like that. So it would need a lot of research. Did you buy your boat through a broker or private? How much do you need to pay? Bought the boat privately. We looked at a few in the likes of Wilton Marina. And to be honest, I know a few people that are going to be watching this have bought boats from Wilton Marina. But the budget that I was looking at, the ones at Wilton Marina were in pretty poor states, to be honest. Needed an awful lot of work doing. They had damp inside. The base plate was rusty on the inside, and that causes a bit of concern. And there was a lot of issues with the ones that we looked at within the budget. So this one we bought privately, and I mean, it's had a lot of work done on the inside. but it's a sound boat, and yeah, it's nice. Hopefully we've added a bit of value onto it, but with boats you always lose money in the end. It doesn't sort of appreciate in value like a house does. It always depreciates like a car. But hopefully, due to all the work that's been done inside, because it did get pretty much gutted, which is what it needed, and then it's got new galley, new flooring, new steps, new cupboards, new dinette. I've just done the bathroom as well. If you look at my channel, I've turned that into a walk-through bathroom instead of an off-corridor one. So hopefully we've added a bit of value to it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's worth now, to be quite honest. But what you need to pay, it depends on what you're looking for, really. The newer the boat, the more expensive it is. The bigger the boat, the more expensive it is. There's such a vast range of factors that affect what you need to spend on a boat, depending on what you want from it. So I can't really answer that in great detail, I'm afraid. Hello, Swannies. Good evening, Mark. A few familiar faces on here tonight. My question: how regularly do you come across other YouTubers? And who's your favourite? Oh dear. Right, what other YouTubers have I got watching? I'm going to say that they're the favourite ones. No, the first YouTuber I met was Nick, Aussie boater, just outside Old Linslade. Not long after lockdown, actually. Nice guy, very nice guy. I've met Boating Beyond, and I've met Mr. Lumsden, Narrowboat Natterings, and that's the only. Yeah, I don't think I've met any others. So who's my favourite? I watch a lot of channels, and I like them all really for their own individuality. That's the thing about vlogging. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just how you do it. It's your own style. And if people like it, that's great. If they don't, it doesn't matter. It's your style of vlogging, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't really have a favourite, to be honest. I know that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, doesn't it? But you've kind of put me on the spot, and I don't want to offend anyone. So no, I don't have a favourite. What's your opinion on bow thrusters? 57-foot boat build starts early November, and I'm undecided. I've no experience of bow thrusters. This is 61 foot, and when I first got it, I had to move it into Milton Keynes Marina, and I had to reverse it all the way around the whole marina and get it into a bay where the space to turn it into was shorter than the boat, if that makes sense. And it was difficult. There might have been a little knock here and there, but I learned how to reverse and how to steer in tight spaces. So I personally don't see the need for them, but they certainly would come in handy now and again, I think, to make life easier. I guess it depends. You've got to weigh up the pros and cons really about the cost of having them fitted, and then I don't really know. Do they any maintenance doing to them? I don't really know much about bow thrusters, I'm afraid. But from a personal point of view, I don't bother with them. But I've heard people that swear by them. So it's very much an individual choice, I think. Really. Tell you what, if you can have a go at driving somebody's boat, or sailing it, or piloting it, whatever you want to call it, without the bow thrusters, just see how you get on. That's what I'd do if I was you. Right, who else have we got? Cruising the Cut, certainly up there on my list. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, message retracted by Mr. P. Oh, what did he say? What editing platform do you use, and are you happy with it? Are there any free ones any good? I use Coral Video Studio Pro X9, I think it's called. Coral Video Studio anyway. And I'm very happy with it. It's pretty straightforward to get your head around. And if you don't know how to do something, you can just YouTube it. There's loads of tutorials about how to do something in that program, which is good. I know people that use, I think it's called Filmorama, something like that. I don't know if that's free or not. I don't know any free ones, I'm afraid. Coral Video Studio I paid for. My version is quite out of date now. Excuse me. Yeah, my Coral Video version is quite out of date. I don't really know any other sort of editing programs, I'm afraid. I've heard of what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. What's the one that people on Apple use a lot? I can't think what it is, but there is a free version out there. DaVinci Pro, that's what I think it's called, which apparently is very, very good, but quite difficult to get your head around. So I guess it depends how good you are with that sort of thing. But again, there'll be tutorials on YouTube for everything, I would imagine. What's your thoughts on double glazing? I think it's a good idea, to be quite honest. If I had the money, Patrick, what I would do is have double glazing put in, certainly where the bigger windows are in the saloon area, because you do lose quite a bit of heat out of these ones in the winter. And I think it also helps with the condensation, because I leave the windows open all year round at the top. It doesn't get cold with the stove on, so there's no problem. But if I have them closed, then there's just condensation pouring down. So I believe double glazing would solve that condensation issue. So I think it's a good idea. There we go. Right, Lumpy will be watching this. He said he can't join us live, but he will be watching it on catch up. And he asked a question: when are we doing a duet with him singing and me playing the piano? I've got no idea, mate. At the moment, I haven't had time to practice since I've met you. Since you popped by, I haven't played. I've been working flat out on this website thing, so I haven't actually had time to play, unfortunately. But one day we will. Don't worry. You're supposed to be sending me a list of songs anyway, so get that over to me, and I'll learn a couple. All right. Why did you choose your style of boat, i.e. a trad? Well, Nick, when I was looking at boats, I had in my mind a list of things that I wanted from the boat. So I wanted a cruiser stern. I didn't want a trad. That was the last style of boat that I wanted. But I went for it because when I got on this boat, it just kind of felt a comfortable place to be, even though it needed a lot of work inside. It felt like a comfortable place to be. The space inside the boat was great compared to other boats I'd seen on that sort of budget that I was looking at. And also for me, the handrails on the outside on the roof, they're proper round rails that you can get your hand all the way round. For my girls, I wanted that. I didn't want the I don't know how to describe it. It's not a proper round rail on the others. It's kind of like the side of the boat goes over and then there's a lip that folds down. You can't get your hand all the way under. You just hold over the top of it like that. So for my girls, I wanted the proper rails along the top. That was quite a big thing for me. So I sort of made a compromise really on the stern, and I've got no issues about having made that compromise. I'm very happy. Check out the Girls and Narrowboat experience for diesel stove. Okay. What is the other source of heating the boat? How do the radiators work, water or fuel? So Gary, my boiler here has my stove has a back boiler in it. It heats the water that goes to 2 other radiators. When I first bought the boat, there was 3 radiators. There was one just up there, the other side of this sofa. That one got absolutely roasting hot, but then it was roasting hot in here anyway without that because the stove's here. And the other 2 got cold, stayed cold. They didn't heat up. So I removed that one and rejigged the plumbing a little bit. And now the other 2 work a lot better. Although the middle one, which is the second one in the series, in the circuit, still doesn't really warm up very much. But the bedroom one gets quite hot now. So that's good. But yeah, I've got no additional heating. It's all done by the multi-fuel stove and the back boiler. What preparations are you making for winter? How will you cope if frozen in? Well, I've started buying coal. I'm trying to buy a couple of bags of coal each week so that I can build up a bit of a stock. How will I cope if I'm frozen in? Well, I'm working from the boat now, doing the website, so I don't have to struggle to get out to go to work. So I'll just have to make sure when the proper winter months come that I've got plenty of food in the cupboards, tins, pasta, all that sort of stuff, and obviously plenty of food for Daisy, and we'll be all right, to be quite honest. It should be fine, fingers crossed. I think we're due for a bit of a harsh winter this year, actually, because the last year wasn't that bad, really, was it? And then we've had a strange sort of summer. We've had a couple of pretty good heat waves, and I've just got a feeling this winter's not going to be a great one. So, yeah, I'm sort of trying to get a load of coal in ready so that I don't have to suddenly buy 10 bags at a time. I'm just slowly building up my stock of coal. Reliability of the engine. Had overheating issues, which if there's a couple of videos in my channel, if you go and have a little look at those, it will explain everything. But in a nutshell, I was towing a lady called Faye who had a gearbox problem on her boat through Leighton Buzzard. My engine overheated and I had to turn it off, and we had to stop in Leighton Buzzard instead of getting to the other side of Leighton Buzzard, which is what we wanted to do. So it overheated and it kept on overheating. So I thought, oh, thermostat's gone. So I found where the thermostat housing was, took that out. There's no thermostat in there. So I thought, that's strange. So that's been taken out potentially as a bit of a bodge job to try and fix an overheating issue that existed previously. So I thought, well, maybe there's an airlock. So I sort of checked the system, bled the skin tank. There was no air in there. So then I sort of checked all components and hoses and stuff of the cooling system, and I found a little blocked hose, which I've sorted. I put everything back, and it's running a lot better now, but it still does get quite hot. It gets the temperature gauge, it's very close to the red, but it doesn't quite go in the red. But I think that potentially, because there's no thermostat in there, the water's flowing through too quickly, so the water's not staying in the skin tank long enough to cool down before it comes through the engine again. So I think if I put the thermostat in there, it's going to slow the flow of the water down, and hopefully that will solve the problem. I've got the thermostat, I just need to find the time to actually pop it in. Toilet, what sort do you have? I have a cassette toilet, Tanya, and a lot of people might think, oh, it's not very nice having to empty a cassette toilet. Really does not bother me. You get used to it. It's a 5-minute job and it's done. So it's no issues for me. I wouldn't want to pump out because the storage tank for that obviously takes up a bit of space and you have to pay to get it pumped out. So that's not an option for me. Composting loos, well, no. I don't really fancy storing bags of my rubbish to then take to the bins. So I think a cassette toilet for me is the best option. How do you heat your hot water, Nick? I've got just the calorifier at the moment. I do have an immersion heater, which doesn't actually work. I need to check because, do you know what? I think it might only work if the boat's plugged into shoreline power. I need to try and check that somehow. Maybe I'll get a generator and I'll connect shoreline power to the generator and then put the immersion on, see if it works. That's a way to test it. Thank you for that question, because you've just made me solve a potential way of testing the immersion out, so I appreciate that. I'm back. Did you finally get your new glass in your stove and bolts? The new glass in the stove? No, it's not in there yet. I've got the new glass, I've got the bolts, but I haven't got round to getting the old ones out. Somebody on Facebook was selling a new door altogether, the whole lot, brand new door with glass and everything for 30 quid, which is a right result. So I messaged her because they're 200 quid new. So I messaged her thinking that would be handy, because this vent on the top here, that is properly seized. That is not budging. So it would solve that as well for 30 quid. I thought that's probably the best option. So I'm looking at getting that from the lady on Facebook. And then I have a spare glass and spare bolts when it needs changing in the future. Right, where are we going? Narrowboat changing pace. Hello. Nice to have you with us. Sorry you're late to the party. No problem. No problem. You're here. I appreciate that. What have we got? Difficulty of removing rubbish around the prop when it happens. I haven't had anything stuck around my prop yet, so I can't really comment. I know a lot of people do get things caught around their prop. I've heard of an old mattress being wrapped around the prop, and on clothes and fish, just completely random stuff to find in the canal. But unfortunately, people do dump stuff in the canal. But I've been quite lucky at the moment. I've not had to get in the weed hatch and cut anything off. I do check the weed hatch and check my props clear, and it always has been. So I haven't had that issue yet, thankfully. It is a bit of a bargain, Tanya, yes, and paid for by some websites, which is quite nice. So it's all good. New door, certainly way to go. I think so. For 30 quid, you can't complain at that, can you? Plus postage, which is actually about 16 quid in itself, she said, because it's obviously quite heavy. So there we go. Right, I've been on for 36 minutes. So that is quite good. 37 people watching. Well, 36. Somebody's just left. How sad. Oh, does your solar cover your needs in spring, summer, autumn, or just summer? So my solar panels are a total of 510 watts, I think it is. And in summer, absolutely spot on, no problems whatsoever. Now I'm needing to run the engine from sort of 4 o'clock onwards till about 8 o'clock, because you're not supposed to run the engine past 8 o'clock because of the noise and disturbing other people. So yeah, I'm having to run the engine. And yesterday it was completely dull all day, and I had to run the engine for most of the day. So that was a bit of a bummer. But ideal in the summer, they're great, but only the summer really do they actually cover all of my sort of power needs, if you like. I've got a generator which is in the car. I need to get it out of the car because that's better than running the engine. And I connect a pretty beefy battery charger to the battery bank from that, and charge them up with the generator so I don't have to run the engine. But yeah, so basically covers all my power needs in the summer for sure, and then not so much in the other months, unfortunately. Spring most of the time is okay. But yeah, it's just today, really. No, yesterday, sorry. Today's been a good day. Yesterday was sort of like pretty bad. Had to run the engine quite a lot. Thank you, Mark. I wonder what the back boiler was. Does it bring challenges to navigate the locks? I don't think, well, it's certainly easier if you've got other people to help you with the locks. But what I do is I just make sure I take my time. Don't let anybody rush you. If there's people sort of waiting to come the other way or whatever, don't let anyone rush you. It's your home inside the lock. You don't want to muck it up. Just take your time, think about what you're doing, and you'll be fine. It can be a bit challenging because where I am, they're all wide locks because I'm on the Grand Union main line, not on a narrow canal. So the locks, if you like, are about 14 feet wide, about 2 boat widths wide. So you've got to make sure you've got your centre line up the top so that you can keep your boat where you want it, keep it off the sill if you're going down. And then if you're filling a lock, keep your boat to one side and just open up the ground paddle on the same side of your boat, and the water will flow in across the lock, bounce back off the wall, and it will pin your boat nice and steady to that side of the lock, so it won't move around and crash about too much while the water's filling. Just take your time. It's fine. It's fine. Right, I've got to say, this has been a great web chat. I think you've found another new regular slot. Thank you, Mr. P. I appreciate that. It's the first live I've done. I'm quite pleased with how it's gone, to be fair. I'm such a numpty. Okay then, Gary, I won't comment on that. I don't want to cause an argument with you, so I won't deny it, but I won't agree with you either because that would be very rude. If they're in a rush, they can put you through. Not sure what you mean by that, I'm afraid. Did I miss something? Maybe I missed something. But there we go. So I think it's probably about time for me to depart and leave you all to it. We've been going for 40 minutes, which is pretty good going, I think. But because I didn't get a vlog out, I wanted to do a vlog yesterday. I like to get vlogs out on a Wednesday. They seem to do a bit better on a Wednesday if I publish them at 4 o'clock for some reason. No idea why, but it seems to be the case. But I didn't obviously get a chance to do it yesterday. I was so busy. I didn't have time to record a vlog or edit one. So I thought, you know what, I'll do a live tonight, and that will put a bit of content on the channel as well, because this video, I think, saves into my channel as a live stream recording. So that should be in the channel forevermore. So I thought, good idea to do a live, see how it goes. And then if it goes really well, maybe do like a monthly sort of live broadcast on YouTube. So I think I might do that once a month. If they are in a rush, they complete through. In theory, pinning your boat with the ground paddles. Oh, right, see, yeah. We're talking about the locks. So if other are in a rush. Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, if the other people are in a rush, they can help you get through the locks. Absolutely. And generally, solo boaters are offered a bit of help from other people. But yeah, just take your time, as I said, and it's all good. You're a natural in front of the camera. Thank you. Cheers, everybody. Oh, what about a companion for Daisy? Oh, not at the minute, Patrick. Not at the minute, mate. Maybe in the future. But maybe in the future. Certainly not anytime soon. Good night, everyone. Cheers, Mark. Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much to everybody for joining me on this. It's been fantastic, actually. I've really enjoyed doing it, and it's nice to have so much interaction from you all. So thank you very much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon in a vlog. Cheers. All right, what am I doing? End. There we go. End.